Good morning, classmates. Today we will talk about a very interesting topic that we would like to share with all of you. The topic of this podcast is the Roman Colosseum. For those who don't know it, the Roman Colosseum is an amphitheater from the time of the Roman Empire, built in the 1st century. It is located east of the Roman Forum and was the largest amphitheater built in the Roman Empire. It is considered the largest Asian amphitheater ever built and is still the largest in the world today, despite its age. But first of all, I would like to ask my colleagues if they have ever been to the Roman Colosseum. Anna?
No, I haven't. I've only seen it in a picture, but I would really like to visit the Roman Colosseum.
Why, Anna?
Because it's a dream I've had since I was a child.
Did you?
Yeah, I remember my parents talking about how amazing the Colosseum looks and how much they would love to see it. So I like the Colosseum because of them.
Very interesting, Anna. So you only like the Colosseum because of your parents?
Well, obviously, over the years, I became interested in other things about the Colosseum.
Like what things, Anna?
Well, the magnificence of its construction has led it to become one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. Today, it has the admiration of the whole world thousands of years after its construction, since it is a representation of Rome's golden age.
Yes, definitely it is magnificent. You knew that the monument rises more than 50 meters high and has almost 188 meters in diameter on its major side and 156 on the minor axis. Today, even in ruins, its elegance is impressive.
Effectively, it is not only a symbol of the Roman Empire. Did you know that since the year 2000, the Colosseum has also been considered as a symbol against the death penalty?
Wow, really?
Yes, the monument is illuminated in a special way when somewhere in the world a death sentence is commuted.
Wow, definitely something very interesting and curious that you just told us, Anna. How about you, Carlos? Have you ever been to the Roman Colosseum?
Yes, I have been. I went to meet him 2 years ago.
And what do you think?
Well, as Anna comments, we will not be able to understand the magnitude of the power of the empire until we stand in front of the Capitol. From there, we can lose sight of years of struggle, domination, splendor, grandeur, and relive in our imagination the Roman society of the past.
And being there, you learned about the story, didn't you? I imagine that it wasn't all fights to the death.
Of course, for example, it was ordered to be built by Vespasian in 72 AC and inaugurated by Titus in 18 AC. After celebrating a series of lavish ceremonies and shows that lasted 100 days, during which gladiatorial fights of death and wild animal fights took place.
I heard that the Colosseum can hold almost 55,000 spectators, and the people who were closest to the arena were the emperor and the senators, and as they descended, the different social classes were placed. Obviously, at the last level were the poor people and the slaves.
Of course, the entrance was free for the whole population after all.
Hey, and by the way, Carlos, what do you think of the people in Rome? How are they like? I hear that they are incredibly kind to tourists, right?
Most of the people were very nice. Obviously, there were some exceptions. Sometimes you could meet very unfriendly people, but at the same time, people who were not unfriendly at all.
Well, at the end of the day, there are all kinds of personalities in this world. But well, that was just a simple question I had. We still have a few seconds left to finish this podcast, so let's get back to the subject. And I would like to end with this question. Does anyone know how the Colosseum ended up as a monument?
Oh, I know it. Between the 5th and the 6th centuries, gladiator and war animal fight were forbidden, and in the 13th centuries, the Colosseum became a fortress. Later, the amphitheater was bonded, and even part of the stones were used as quarrier for other more modern buildings. It was only at the end of the 19th century that the structure was excavated under the sand, and once again became a symbol of Roman glory.
Well, we definitely learned a lot about Rome and the Colosseum today. Thank you very much for joining us today. The social networks of all of us are down in the description, so you can support us and be aware of the future podcasts that we will do. And remember, if one day you go to Europe, the Colosseum is a strict stop. I would say it's even an order. If you are listening to this podcast, you are already tasked with going to the Colosseum on your next vacation. Have a nice day, everyone. See you next time.